Once upon a time, in a corner of the world where the trees touched the clouds, there was a magical, vibrant jungle. Everything here was big and grand, but among the giants lived someone very small. Meet Bibi, the tiny rabbit. Bibi spent his days hopping through the grass, but he often felt invisible. The larger animals never seemed to notice him. One sunny afternoon, Bibi found a beautiful, glowing flower near the edge of the deep woods. It was his favorite spot, but he wasn't alone. Deep in the shadows, 3 mischievous hyenas were watching him, their eyes gleaming with a naughty plan. Suddenly, the hyenas jumped out. Bibi's heart raced as he turned to run as fast as his little legs could carry him. He dove under logs and leaped over stones, crying out for help, but the jungle felt very big and very scary. Just as the hyenas closed in, a massive shadow fell over the path. A golden mane appeared from behind an ancient tree. It was Leo, the king of the jungle. He stood tall and brave, looking down at the startled hyenas with a stern gaze. Leo let out a mighty roar that shook the leaves on the trees. The hyenas tumbled over each other in fright, realizing they were no match for the king. The hyenas turned and fled into the dark bushes, never looking back. Bibi looked up at his hero. He had never seen anyone so big and so kind. He whispered a quiet thank you. Leo smiled warmly. Size doesn't matter when you have a brave heart, he seemed to say, before walking peacefully away. A few days later, the sun was high in the sky. Leo was enjoying a peaceful walk, listening to the birds sing, but danger was hidden in the grass. Suddenly, Leo's paw triggered a hidden rope. A heavy net fell from the canopy above. The great lion was trapped. He struggled and roared, but the thick ropes only pulled tighter around him. Leo called for help, but the elephants and giraffes were too far away to hear. He felt very alone and afraid. Nearby, Bibi was nibbling on some clover when he heard a familiar roar. It didn't sound like a roar of power, but a roar of distress. Bibi rushed to the scene. He saw the mighty Leo trapped in the net. He tried to pull the ropes, but he was too small. Bibi knew he couldn't do it alone. He whistled a special signal, calling his friends the mice and the squirrels. Together, the army of tiny animals climbed onto the net. They began to chew through the thick ropes with their sharp teeth. Snap! One rope broke, then another. The tiny creatures worked together with such speed and determination. Finally, the last rope gave way. The net fell apart, and Leo stepped out, free and completely surprised. Leo bowed his head low, showing his deepest respect to Bibi and his friends. He realized that even the smallest help is huge. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in beautiful oranges and pinks, the lion and the rabbit sat together. They had learned that kindness and courage make the best friends. No matter how big or small you are, you matter. Always remember, a small act of kindness can change the world. See you next time, little explorers. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.